Is ready. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, on this first Shabbat of a new year, 2024. Who's ready for some snow this week, maybe? A little snow, freshen up the landscape, you know. It is January, right? Expect a little snow. Hopefully everyone had a nice New Year's weekend. We had a great time here at Bingo. Many people won lots of prizes. Cantor's back in town. He was not here last week. Tom was here. Happy to have him back on the Bema, leading us in music and prayer. We're going to open up with a song that we know, many of us know, Hine Matov. If you need the words to Hine Matov, very top of page 128.
Bruce and I celebrated our 33rd anniversary yesterday. I have to ask this, Phil, what's the secret of a successful 33rd anniversary? What's the success? What's the, absolute commitment? There it is. Nothing more to say? Anyone else?
We are in our books on page 121. You'll find the reading the Shabbat candles, I'm going to invite Tina Maroon to come up. And I often forget to light the candles over here, so I did again tonight. So as you lead us on 121, I'm going to light those candles. There you go.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. All right.
First one.
Just the first one? Okay. That's all right. 1 and 8 and 9. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
My left or my right, please. Light a candle if you wish. We're on page 126. Please read with me. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other. To work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Page 128, the words of Yedid Nefesh. Pull the page. Does anyone remember when teachers would ask their students to bring an object into class for what was known as show and tell? Anyone? The idea was to share something of personal meaning with fellow classmates, or to bring something really cool into school and tell everyone how amazing the object was. It was also a chance, I think, for many students to stand up in front of the class and practice a bit of public speaking. I can recall bringing a menorah for Hanukkah to class, my dad's army uniform, and a few vehicles from my then very extensive Hot Wheels car collection. Think for a moment about what you might bring into school if you were going today, at this moment of your life. If you were asked to bring a significant item to share with others, an item of immense personal value, maybe with a story behind it, what would you hold in your hands? What would you show off in front of fellow classmates and show with pride? Show and tell. It's on my mind this week because over the past few weekends, I have been engaging in cleaning out boxes and boxes of items from my basement, a task I have put off for years, doing so now in preparation for a move from the house I have lived in for over 23 years. I have lovingly, and sometimes not so lovingly, been called a hoarder by my wife for the items I have saved. Last weekend, true story, I finally threw away all the cards I received from guests at my bar mitzvah and letters written to me while I was studying in Israel to become a rabbi in the summer of 1989. If asked at this moment what one item I would share at a show and tell, I would bring in an article from the publication Der Yiddische Farmer, a publication written for Jewish farmers in Connecticut, beginning in the early years of the 20th century. The article I would bring in shows a picture of my grandfather at the age of, say, 7 or 8, who was being featured on the front page of the issue for winning a contest for his skill in caponizing a chicken. I found this article while studying at my alma mater, Hebrew Union College, doing research on Jewish farming. I was writing a paper on this. In the days before cell phones, the moment I found this article, I ran to the payphone in the building and called my grandfather to see if he remembered winning the contest. He told me He didn't just remember winning. He said, I know exactly where the medal that I won is, in the top drawer of his dresser. Show and tell is one of the many events that takes place in our Torah portion this week. This first portion of Exodus on this first Shabbat of the year. The portion takes us on the journey of the birth of Moses. The injustices Moses sees that were exacted on the Israelite slaves, and how he took the life of a taskmaster and was forced to flee for his own well-being and safety. Where does show and tell come in? In my mind, the example manifests itself at the incident of the burning bush. Moses sees a sight that takes his breath away. A bush ablaze in flame, but not being consumed by the fire. There's a midrash that says, before Moses sees this sight, he's taken on the profession of a shepherd, like his father-in-law Jethro, and one day while he's tending the flocks, one of the sheep runs away from the rest of the animals. Moses runs after the sheep, who has found a source of water. Concerned about the fatigue of the animal, Moses picks up the sheep and brings it back to the rest of the flock. Now, some commentaries suggest that the sheep found water on the top of Mount Sinai. Others teach it was near Mount Sinai. But either way, at this moment, helping the sheep, our tradition says Moses then saw the bush aflame. In the tradition of angelic anthropomorphism, angels communicating with God in human language, at the very moment that God sees Moses caring for this animal in such a compassionate way, God says to the angels this: if Moses takes such good care of sheep, can you imagine how well he will take care of my children? God then shows Moses a sight, the likes of which he has never seen before. And God tells Moses that not only has God heard the cries of the Israelites, he's seen the oppression, and he tells Moses they will find new residence in a land flowing with milk and honey. In this game of show and tell, the question I have, why would God choose a burning bush to communicate to Moses? And if you think I know the answer, you're mistaken. The question of all questions, why a lowly bush? Why would God make his presence known in a lowly bush and not something far grander, loftier, more extravagant? I can't answer for God, but I can tell you this, that rabbis teach us that the bush represents our ancestors, a tiny oppressed people who, after so many years of life as slaves, diminished life, a life without freedom, they lived a life of hard labor and little privilege. That bush represented them. Our sages teach that the bush represented their plight, and that fire that burned within, flames that did not consume the brush, represented the Egyptians, and those really throughout time and place who seek to eliminate the Jews. Today we might call the flames of burning anti-Semitism, a desire to burn our community, to inflict pain and anguish upon us. But somehow the miracle is, throughout history, our people have survived. We've not been overcome by the fire. The bush that burned for Moses was a show and a tell, a visible reminder to the man who the Torah would come to be called the greatest of all, that the Jewish people would always survive. The Jewish people would always endure, flourish, grow, despite every effort by Pharaoh and pharaohs down the line. The flames would not extinguish us. The Egyptians were not able to consume our ancestors. We sing at Passover, Chad Gadya. This is the story of Chad Gadya. All of the generations of those that wanted to extinguish us were not successful. The symbolism of the burning bush today is as relevant as ever. Not just for Israelis who are engaged in war for the future of their nation, really the nation of the Jewish people, but for all of us as we battle anti-Semitism. We might be small in number, but we are not going to be consumed by the flames of hatred. We might be small in number, but hatred is not going to extinguish us. God's voice came forth from that burning bush to motivate and inspire Moses to all the challenges he was going to face. God was going to guide Moses through the days ahead as he fought for the freedom of his people. If we listen closely enough, we too can hear the voice of God guiding us through the difficulties of our own time and place. Rashi spins the story of the burning bush in this way. He says the burning bush is a symbol of God's sheltering presence during the times when Jews will go through burning difficulties. This is exactly what we need during these uncertain times. So as we begin a new year, this first Shabbat, let us acknowledge that we are all in need of God's presence, coping with the horrors of the war in Gaza, responding to the acts of violence and hatred against our communities, reminding us that the days ahead can be better if we stand together as a proud, unified community, embracing the best of what Jewish life has to offer. During this week of show and tell, let us show the world that those who hate us are never going to win. By strengthening our commitments to our faith, let us tell the world we are not going to be frightened by their acts, their evil acts against us, no matter how Pharaoh-like they behave. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will. Amen.
Amen. We turn to page 146 for our call to worship the Baruch Hu. We invite you to rise. be seated. We turn to our song sheet. This beautiful setting of the Ma'ariv Aravim prayer called God of Creation. We thank God for turning day into night and the blessing of creation that is. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim bechokma poteach she'arim. Do it again. Baruch atah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim bechokma poteach she'arim. God of creation, who makes the evening fall from light into darkness with the setting of the sun, you unfold the heavens with a brilliant moon and stars, and grab our souls with peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim bechokma poteach she'arim. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. We invite you to rise once again for the watchword of our faith. Shema Yisrael. Hear us, Israel. God is one.
152.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema
on page 154. We continue reading together. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha uv'kshartam liyot vot be'einecha uv'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha l'ma'an tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yihitem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiyot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. You've split open the sea, a poet writes about God, saying to us, a path was crafted. The poet says, you delivered us, God, from slavery to bring us to a sweet land. We sang out songs of freedom. Michamocha, who is like you. Sometimes we lose hope during the unsettling frictions and problems and challenges of daily life. But still we sing, Michamocha, who is like you. We wait and we listen for your voice, for guidance to continue our journey. Michamocha, who is like you. Every time we worship, we say with conviction, we sing with conviction, there is none like you. Tonight we again sing the words of Michamocha, page 158. Page 151, we read together, 161. Let there be love, understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts. And we lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will.
Shabbat, Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Mekorei Oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei, Mekadeshei Shvi Shabbat, Kulam Yismechu, Yitangu Metuvecha Shabbat, Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Mekorei Oneg Shabbat, Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Mekorei Oneg Shabbat, V'hashvi ratzita bo, ratzita bo v'kidash lo Shabbat, Chemdat Yamim, Oto karata Shabbat, Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Mekorei Oneg Shabbat, Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Mekorei Oneg Shabbat. Zecher l'masei b'reshit Shabbat, Zecher l'masei b'reshit Shabbat, Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Mekorei Oneg Shabbat, Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Mekorei Oneg Shabbat.
You take it all in. How beautiful. Page 165. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. We rise for our tefillah.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק אלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה אלוהי רבקה אלוהי רחל אלוהי לאה האל הגדול הגיבור הנורא אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע משיל הרוח ומוריד הגשם מחכה לחיים לחסד מחיי הכל ברכתנים רבים זונך נופלים ברופאי חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך תמימית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We continue together, the middle of page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt together, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. And there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha v'yirah na'avod. A poem for peace that's not in your books tonight. It's based on the work of the famous Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav. Source of peace, sovereign of peace, establish peace among your people Israel, and let there be an ever-increasing peace among all peoples. May there be no more hatred, rancor, strife, or conquest between one human being and another. Let there only be love and a great peace among us, so that each of us may know the love of the other, until we are able to come and gather together, every person with another, that we may speak one to the other, to explain one to the other your truth. God, you are peace, and from you comes peace. Source of peace, bless us. Source of peace, bless us with peace. Amen. We think of those that we know, those that we love, who are in need of healing on this Shabbat. We think of Barbara Edelman, Jeannie Friedland, Bruce Roller, Lanny Thody, Alan Schaefer, Lawrence Krause, Taylor Krause, Sylvia Margolin, Phyllis Lindhut, Dorothy Garland, Ash Hales. We think of others as well, those not on our list. Any names to share on my left side tonight, those in need of healing? Please. Wishing you well, wishing you well. On my right side, names to add to our list for healing. On either side, the left or the right, down the center. We think of all of these people, those that we know and love. We offer these words of healing on their behalf. You'll find the Misha Berach tonight on the flip side of your handout, page number 2.
It's interesting that this Torah portion has to do with Moses and Miriam, because Moses, when Miriam suffered through leprosy, he said to God, El, God, El is the name of God, El narfanala, please heal her. And we add the word lanu, which means heal us. So this prayer is invoking that sense of wishing for healing.
Thank you for all these blessings.
Thank you for all these blessings.
Throughout our days and nights.
Throughout our days and nights.
We celebrate the journey.
We celebrate the journey.
This precious gift of life.
This precious gift of
Eleanor.
continue in silence.
Razzoni mrefi le razzoni mrefi legion libi le fanecha Adonai tzuri vego Oh, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you. O God, my rock and my redeemer. Ose shalom bimromav, Yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
We're on page 586. We continue with the Aleinu. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'teit gedula le'otzer breshit, shelo asan gdoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. Ba'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yehyeh Adonai echad u'shemo
We remain standing. We're on page 596. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear. But if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those about us. The psalmist said that in his affliction he learned the law of God. And in truth, grief is a great teacher, and it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silence in their presence and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. Thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as, in their higher moments, they themselves wish to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing. We remember those whose yortzites occur this week. Many of us know these names, folks that we have known and loved for many, many decades. We remember Sonia Aschendorf. We remember Eva Hack, Bill Kretz, Anna Litwin, Albert Moldauer, Molly Harris Moldauer, Isidore Mulias. We remember Leonard Newman, Edward Schwartz, Charlotte Tessler, Wendy Watkins, and Jack Zaroff. We remember, too, as we always do, those who gave their lives for our faith, our tradition, and those who perished in the horrors of the Holocaust. In their memory, we say the words of Kaddish, page 598. We remember them all, and we say with one voice, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechod uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'yimeru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata ushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran b'yolma v'yimeru amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael Vimaru, Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, Vimaru. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to Israel, to all the world, to which we say, Amen. Please be seated. I invite one of our vice presidents to the bima, Larry Seapley.
Shabbos. Things coming up. Tomorrow morning, Corey Dane is going to be leading Shavasana here at 10 a.m. You can see the mats are already set up for yoga with a Jewish flair, or join the rabbi and the youngest members of our congregation for Tot Shabbat at 10 a.m. The United Jewish School resumes this Sunday morning at 9 a.m. and next Friday evening, join the cantor for a Chazanut concert, January the 12th from 5:15 to 5:45, so just before services. This 30-minute concert will feature operatic gems from the golden age of cantorial music. Then join the rabbi and cantor and Rabbi Khrushchev on Wednesday night, January the 24th at 6 p.m. at Ahavatz Israel for a light dinner and a Tu B'Shvat Seder. This is the new year for trees and a chance for all of us to give thanks for the blessings of the natural world around us, and RSVP to Ahavatz Israel. Our next men's night is Tuesday, February the 6th at 6 p.m. Men of all ages are invited to join us for a night of Greek food cooked by Greg Zizos. I've eaten his food. You need to be there. Contact the office to RSVP. And we also thank Tina Marua. There she is. For underwriting the Oneg Shabbat in honor of her birthday among all the other social activity, action stuff that she participates in, she is also on our board. And valuable member. January, it's a good time to start a resolution to think about joining the board, temple board this year. Got about 5 more months. Just saying.
I thought the resolution was to come to men's night. Greek food is great. I also have eaten Greg Zizos' food. It's amazing. We're going to conclude our service, I believe, back on our handout. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. What else I gotta say?
Well, I think this prayer, it called out to me this week. You know, the news of the world is really confusing and hard to deal with. And Rabbi Menachem Creditor wrote this. He wrote the words and he wrote the melody, and I think these words are just so relevant for right now. Olam Chesed. Olam Chesed Yibaneh Yadadai Dai Dai Yadadai Dai 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 I will build this world. I will build this world from love. Yadadai Dai Dai Yadadai Dai And you must build this world from love. Yadadai Dai Dai Yadadai Dai And if we build this world from love, Yadadai Dai Dai Yadadai Dai, then God will build this world from love. Yadadai Dai Dai Yadadai Dai.
Join us for Kiddush and Motze in a moment. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.